Hello, my dear students. Welcome back to your SSC class. How are you all? Are you all excited for your next chapter? Chapter number 3, the atmosphere. Now, look at the paragraph. The blanket of air that surrounds the earth is called the atmosphere. The atmosphere is vital for survival of life on earth. It has made the earth a unique planet. It provides us the air we breathe and also protects us from the harmful effects on the sun rays, right? तो काफी ज्यादा हमें हेल्प करता है, बचाता है, हमें हीट से बचाता है, सन रेज से बचाता है. Without this blanket of protection, we would have been baked alive by this heat of the sun during the day and get frozen during the night. क्या होता है कि सन में डे में काफी ज्यादा सन की हीट से बहुत ज्यादा गर्मी पड़ती है, पर जो नाइट्स होती है वो काफी ज्यादा ठंडी हो जाती है. द एटमोस्फेयर कीप्स द टेम्परेचर ऑन द अर्थ मॉडरेट एंड मेक इट लिवेबल. Composition of the atmosphere. The air we breathe is a mixture of many gases, of which nitrogen and oxygen are the two main constituents. ठीक है, जो हम सांस लेते हैं that is a mixture of two gases. First is nitrogen and second is oxygen. Other gases like carbon dioxide, hydrogen, helium, ozone, and argon are some other gases found in lesser quantities in the atmosphere. Apart from these gases, tiny dust particles and water vapors are also present in the atmosphere इन वेरी स्मॉल क्वांटिटीज. तो ये काफी ज्यादा हमारे जो एनवायरनमेंट में है, वाटर वेपर में है, हमारे एटमॉस्फेयर में काफी ज्यादा स्मॉल क्वांटिटीज प्रेजेंट हो जाती है. नाइट्रोजन इज द मोस्ट अबंडेंट गैस प्रेजेंट इन द एटमॉस्फेयर. नाइट्रोजन इज एसेंशियल फॉर द सर्वाइवल ऑफ द प्लांट. जो नाइट्रोजन है काफी ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, दैट इज द सर्वाइवल फॉर द प्लांट्स. They cannot take nitrogen directly from the air. Some nitrogen fixing bacteria that live in the soil and roots of some plants take nitrogen from the air and break them so that plants can use it. Oxygen is the second most plentiful gas present in the air. All living beings take oxygen from the air during breathing. जो ऑक्सीजन है वो सेकंड मोस्ट प्लेंटिफुल गैस है हमारे लिए एयर के लिए, क्योंकि दैट इज प्रेजेंट इन द एयर, राइट? सो ऑल लिविंग बीइंग्स टेक ऑक्सीजन फ्रॉम द एयर ड्यूरिंग ब्रीथिंग. ग्रीन ट्रीज ऑब्जॉर्व carbon dioxide from the air and release oxygen during photosynthesis. In this way, the oxygen content of the area, oh bhai, repeat. In this way the oxygen content of the air remains balanced. इससे हमारी जो एयर का बैलेंस है वो काफी ज्यादा स्मूथ रहता है. इंक्रीजिंग डिफॉरेस्टेशन डिस्टर्ब दिस बैलेंस, और डिफॉरेस्टेशन की वजह से ये हमारे बैलेंस को काफी ज्यादा इंक्रीज कर देता है और डिस्टर्ब कर देता है. कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इज अनदर इंपॉर्टेंट गैस प्रेजेंट इन द एयर. और जो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड है वो भी बहुत ज्यादा हमारे लिए इंपॉर्टेंट गैस है जो हमारी प्रेजेंट है एयर में. ग्रीन प्लांट्स टेक इन कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड टू मेक देयर ओन फूड एंड रिलीज ऑक्सीजन. अपना खाना खुद बनाते हैं एंड दे रिलीज ऑक्सीजन. Human beings and animals release carbon dioxide. The amount of carbon dioxide released by human beings and animals are equal to the amount used by the plants, which make a perfect balance. Now look at the next paragraph. However, excessive burning of fossil fuels like coal and petroleum release billions of tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere each year, thus disturbing the balance. काफी ज्यादा एटमॉस्फेयर में आपका कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इन्वॉल्व होते हैं जिसकी वजह से काफी ज्यादा अनबैलेंस हो जाती है चीजें. द इंक्रीज वॉल्यूम ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इज ऑलरेडी अफेक्टिंग द अर्थ वेदर एंड क्लाइमेट. उसकी वॉल्यूम बढ़ने की वजह से जो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड है वो काफी ज्यादा इफेक्ट करने लग जाता है हमारे अर्थ को in the form of weather and climate. Now we will talk about the greenhouse effect and global warming. Carbon dioxide released in the atmosphere create a greenhouse effect by trapping the heat radiated from the earth. It helps in maintaining a moderate temperature on the earth suitable for survival of all living beings. Therefore, carbon dioxide is called a greenhouse gas. Without it, the earth would have been cold to sustain life. Water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrogen oxide, and ozone are the greenhouse गैसेस, ये आपके ग्रीन हाउस गैसेस में आती हैं, जैसे वाटर वेपर है, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड है, मीथेन है, नाइट्रोजन है, ऑक्सीडाइड है और ओजोन है. दैट आर द एग्जांपल्स ऑफ ग्रीन हाउस गैसेस. When the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere increases due to smoke emitted by factories and running vehicles, the heat retained by it increases the temperature of the earth. This is called ग्लोबल वार्मिंग. कि ज्यादा हीट पड़ रही है, उसकी वजह से हमारा जो टेम्परेचर है बहुत ज्यादा इंक्रीज कर रहा है. दैट इज कॉल्ड द global warming. The rise in temperature of the earth has many harmful effects. It causes the snow in the coldest parts of the world to melt, causing the sea level to rise and bringing flood in the coastal areas. In the long run might pose a serious threat to the survival of plants and animals. काफी ज्यादा अगर फ्लड आ जाता है तो उससे हमारे जो प्लांट्स और एनिमल्स है उनकी लाइफ, मतलब उनका जो सर्वाइवल होता है वो काफी ज्यादा टफ हो जाता है. वी विल स्टडी अबाउट द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द एटमॉस्फेयर. And they can be divided into 5 layers. They are troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. First is troposphere. The temperature in the layer decreases with increasing altitude. It decreases roughly at the rate of 1 degree C per 165 meter. This layer protects us from excessive heat of the sun ड्यूरिंग द डे एंड कीप द अर्थ सरफेस वार्म एट नाइट. मतलब सन में मतलब दिन में हमें सन से काफी ज्यादा बचाता है और रात को हम जो हमारे अर्थ को काफी ज्यादा वार्म रखता है. सेकंड, द लेयर क्लोजेस्ट टू द अर्थ इज कॉल्ड द ट्रोपोस्फेयर. The term tropo has been taken from a Greek word which means mixing. This layer has a mixture of various gases in different proportion. काफी ज्यादा mixture होती है gases की that comes in different proportions. This layer extends from the earth's surface up to a height of 8 km above the poles and 18 km above the equator. This is the densest layer of the atmosphere and contains gases, dust particles, water vapor, etc. The air we breathe in is present in this layer. Almost all natural phenomena like formation of cloud, rainfall, fog and hailstorm also occur in this layer. तो जितना rainfall होता है, जो भी hailstorm होता है, that occurs in this layer, troposphere में. Now we will read about stratosphere. Above the troposphere lies the stratosphere. It extends up to a height of 50 km. The temperature remains constant up to a height of about 20 km and thin increases with increasing altitude. The lower part of the stratosphere has concentration of ozone and it is called ozone sphere. The stratosphere is free from all weather phenomena like cloud storms, etc. This layer is most suitable for flying of aircraft. The stratosphere also contains a layer of ozone gas that protects the earth from the harmful effects of the sun rays. जो ओजोन लेयर होता है आपका, ये इसको हेल्प करता है, प्रोटेक्ट करता है अर्थ को हार्मफुल रेज से. Right, now move to the third part, mesosphere. It is the third layer of the atmosphere and lies above the stratosphere. It extends up with a height of 80 km. The temperature decreases with height and reaches about -100 degrees Celsius. It's the height of 80 km. This is the coldest layer in the atmosphere. सबसे ठंडा रहता है ये जो atmosphere है आपका. The meteoroids that enter into the atmosphere of the earth from the space are burned by entering this layer. And the fourth, thermosphere. It is extends between 80 to 400 km. Ionosphere is a part of this layer. The temperature in this region increasing rapidly with the increase in height. The lower part of the thermosphere is called ionosphere as it has ionosin molecules. This layer is helpful for radio communication. The radio waves transmitted from the earth are reflected back to the earth by this layer. Exosphere. Fifth is exosphere. It is the uppermost layer of the earth atmosphere. It has very thin layer of air and light gases like helium and hydrogen escape into the space from here. The temperature increase the height and may reach 4500 डिग्री सेल्सियस. जो उसका टेम्परेचर है काफी ज्यादा इंक्रीज हो जाता है क्योंकि जो उसकी हाइट होती है इट कैन मे रीच अप टू 4500 डिग्री सेल्सियस. Now we will read about the significance of the atmosphere. The atmosphere is vital for the survival of life on the earth. The main advantage of the atmosphere are following. जैसे क्या क्या एडवांटेजेस है एटमॉस्फेयर के, कैसे वो हमारे लिए इम्पोर्टेंट है, ठीक है, तो अभी हम उसके बारे में पढ़ेंगे. द लोअर लेयर ऑफ द एटमॉस्फेयर हैज लाइफ गिविंग ऑक्सीजन विच इज नीडेड फॉर ब्रीथिंग, राइट. जो हमें ऑक्सीजन मिली हुई है वो हमें सांस लेने के लिए मिल रही है. सेकेंड, नाइट्रोजन एंड कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड आर नीडेड बाय प्लांट्स for their growth. Third, carbon dioxide also controls the Earth's temperature by absorbing the heat radiated from the surface and keeps the Earth warm. कितनी हीट उनको मिली और किस वजह से उन्होंने कैसे उन्होंने अर्थ को वार्म रखा, राइट. नाउ फोर्थ, लाइक कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड वाटर वेपर इन द टेम्परेचर. Fourth point, like carbon dioxide, water vapor in the atmosphere also help us to keep the earth warm. Fifth, atmosphere prevents the sun harmful ultraviolet rays from reaching the earth's surface. काफी ज्यादा प्रिवेंट करता है ताकि जो सन की हार्मफुल रेज है वो हमारे तक मतलब अर्थ तक ना पहुंचे. 6, the dust particle present in the atmosphere act as condensation and play an important role in causing precipitation. 7, an important trace gas are called O3 in the atmosphere is essential for our survival because it absorbs much of the harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun. Atmosphere often the sun glass during the day. 9, the change of weather and climate, it is due to the presence of the atmosphere कि चेंज होता रहता है हमारे वेदर में, हमारे क्लाइमेट में, इस तरीके से. 10, the presence of water vapor causes condensation and precipitation. 11, the atmosphere also protects life on the earth from falling meteoroids. Sound waves can travel because of the pressure of air. We are able to hear each due to air environment. Radio wave also get reflected back to the atmosphere. 15, atmosphere makes satellite communication possible. Now next topic is atmospheric temperature. The degree of hotness or coldness of the air is known as temperature. जिससे हमें गर्म और ठंडे वेदर का पता लगता है, that is known as temperature. The temperature of the earth changes not only between day and night but also season and place to place. कि ऐसा नहीं है कि दिन और नाइट से, डे और नाइट से ही हमें पता लगता रहता है टेम्परेचर, नहीं, बट सीजन टू सीजन एंड प्लेस टू प्लेस भी हमें पता लगता रहता है हमारा टेम्परेचर. एज वी नो, the sun is the source of all form of energy. It radiates heat and light energy. जो वो heat pass करता है और light energy भी. It is known as solar system. The earth receives only a fraction of this solar radiation, about 200 million part, which is called insolation. It causes changes in the atmospheric temperature. The amount of solar radiation received by the earth's surface varies from place to another. The amount of insolation decreases as one goes towards the poles from the equator. Therefore, the temperature also decreases in the same manner. That is why the poles are covered with snow. तभी जो poles होते हैं, that is covered with the snow. If the earth temperature rises too high, it would become too warm and the ice in the poles would melt, causing a great rise in the oceanic water level, and many of the adjoining places would submerge. Temperature in cities and towns is much higher than that of villages. The concrete and meals in buildings and the roads get heated up during the day and in turn raise the atmospheric temperature. At night, the heat that was absorbed during the day is released. This is called terrestrial radiation. In the same way, the crowded high-rise buildings of the cities and town traps the warm air and thus raise the temperature of the cities or towns. Measurement of temperature. The instrument used to measure the temperature is called thermometer. जिससे हम एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट होता है जिससे हम मेजर कर सकते हैं क्या टेम्परेचर हो रहा है, दैट इज कॉल्ड द थर्मोमीटर. Repeat. The most common temperature scales in use are the Celsius and the Fahrenheit. On the Celsius scale, the melting point of ice is 0 degrees Celsius and the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. On the Fahrenheit scale, they are 32 degree F and 212 degree F respectively. Another scale known as Kelvin scale is used for scientific purpose. Heating of the atmosphere. The atmosphere is not heated directly by the sun heat. Heating is the atmosphere take place through the following process. Conduction. The earth's surface is heated by insulation. The heated earth's surface transfer heat to the lower layers of the earth by the process of conduction. And we will read about the convection. The heated layer of air move up convection currents and carry the heat to the upper layers of the atmosphere. Distribution of temperature. Temperature of air is not the same everywhere. It also changes from time to time on the basis of amount of heat received. The earth has been divided into heat zone. ऐसा नहीं है कि जो हमारा टेम्परेचर है वो सेम रहता है, नहीं, वो चेंज होता रहता है टाइम टू टाइम ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ कितनी हीट उसको रिसीव हो रही है, और इसको 3 पार्ट्स में डिवाइड किया गया है. फर्स्ट इज टॉरिड जोन. द जोन लाइज बिटवीन द ट्रॉपिक ऑफ कैंसर 23 1/2 degree N and the Tropic of Capricorn 23 1/2 degree S. The sun remains overhead throughout the year in this zone, keeping temperature at high level. This zone said to have a tropical climate. काफी ज्यादा जो इसका लेवल है काफी ज्यादा हाई रहता है, जिसकी वजह से temerity zone. This zone lies between the Tropic of Cancer 23 1/2 degree N and the Arctic Circle 66 1/2 degree N in the northern hemisphere, and the Tropic of Capricorn 23 1/2 degree S and Antarctic Circle 66 1/2 degree S in the southern hemisphere. It has a moderate climate because the sun rays are slanting in this region. काफी ज्यादा यहाँ का जो क्लाइमेट है, सन रेज एकदम डायरेक्ट स्लैंट करती है इन दिस रीजन में. हेंस द टेम्परेचर इज नीदर नॉर हाई और नॉट टू लो. ना ज्यादा हाई होता है ना ज्यादा लो होता है, राइट. रिपीट. फ्रिजिड जोन. This zone lies between 66 1/2 degree N and North Pole in the northern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, it lies between the 66 1/2 degree S and South Pole. These are the two polar regions and extremely cold throughout the year. These are the two polar regions and extremely cold throughout the year. मतलब ये जो टू रीजन्स है काफी ज्यादा पोलर है, काफी ज्यादा ठंडे रहते हैं पूरे साल. एटमॉस्फेरिक pressure. Like all other matters, air too has weight. The air above us presses with a great force on the body. This is called atmospheric pressure or air pressure. काफी ज्यादा great force होता है, right? तो इसको हम atmospheric pressure बोलेंगे या तो air pressure बोलेंगे, कुछ भी बोल सकते हैं दोनों में से एक चीज. Atmospheric pressures can be defined as a pressure exerted by the weight of air on the Earth's surface. The air pressure is highest at the sea level and decreases with the height. हाईएस्ट हो जाता है सी लेवल के हिसाब से और डिक्रीज हो जाता है उसकी हाइट की वजह से. एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर ऑन द सरफेस ऑफ द अर्थ इज नॉट द सेम एवरीवेयर. हर जगह पे सेम नहीं रहता. दिस इज बिकॉज ऑफ अनइक्वल heating of the atmosphere. Temperature also has an influence on the air pressure. In areas where the temperature is high, the air gets heated and becomes light. काफी ज्यादा हीट हो जाता है और जो उसका प्रेशर होता है काफी ज्यादा लाइट हो जाता है. The hot air rises up creating a low pressure area. Low pressure is associated with cloudy skies and wet weather. The air is cool in areas having lower temperature and such as it is heavy. Heavy pressure sinks and creates a high pressure area. In such area, the weather is clear with sunny skies. The air always moves from the high pressure region to the low pressure region. काफी ज्यादा मूव रहता है हाई प्रेशर से लेके लो प्रेशर तक, राइट स्टूडेंट्स. नाउ मूव टू द नेक्स्ट पैराग्राफ. Measurement of atmospheric pressure. The atmospheric pressure is measured with the help of barometer. The unit used in measure atmospheric pressure is millibar, MB. The height of 3 mm of mercury column in the barometer is equivalent to 4 MB or air pressure. The normal atmospheric pressure at sea level is about 76 centimeter of the mercury column in the barometer. Now move to the next part. Distribution of atmospheric pressure. क्या क्या डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन रहा है एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर का. द डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर इज नॉट यूनिफॉर्म. इट इज ग्रेटली इफेक्टेड बाय द वेरिएशंस इन टेम्परेचर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन एंड रोटेशंस ऑफ द अर्थ. कैसे रोटेट कर रहा है, क्या टेम्परेचर में चेंजेस आ रहा है, क्या डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर रहा है, सब इन्वॉल्व कर रही है चीजें एक दूसरे के साथ. एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर इज हाईएस्ट एट द सी लेवल. सी लेवल पे काफी ज्यादा जो इसका प्रेशर होता है बहुत ज्यादा हाईएस्ट होता है. But on the mountains, the thickness and density of air column is less and hence the atmospheric pressure is also less. काफी ज्यादा air जो होती है ये बहुत ज्यादा less हो जाती है. At some places, it is modified by the Earth's rotation. There are 7 major pressure belts on the Earth, and these are not continuous. They shift slightly northwards in summer and southwards in winter season. Winter season नहीं है, winter season है. Repeat. They shift slightly northwards in summer and southwards in winter seasons. Wind. The air is invisible. जो air होती है वो invisible होती है, but its presence can be felt when it blows, carrying dry leaves and uprooting trees in case of a storm. It has a tendency to blow from a high pressure region to a low pressure region. The air that moves horizontally is called wind. The vertical movement of air is called the air current. The speed of the wind is not always the same. जो उसकी speed रहती है हमेशा same नहीं होती. It varies with the atmospheric pressure. The wind is named after the direction from which it blows. For example, the wind blowing from the western side is called the west wind. मतलब western side से आ रही है तो हम उसको west wind बोलेंगे. The wind is deflected towards the right in the northern hemisphere and towards the left southern hemisphere. This happens due to the earth rotation. ये सब earth rotation की वजह से हो रहा होता है. The movement of wind can broadly be classified into three types of. First is planetary wind. Some winds blow constantly in a particular direction throughout the year. मतलब एक ही direction में constantly move कर रही होते हैं. Such winds are called planetary wind or prevailing or permanent winds. These winds originate these winds originate due to the presence of permanent high pressure and low pressure belts on the surface of the earth. The trade winds, the westerlies and the polar winds are example of permanent wind. Now move to the second point. Periodic wind. Certain winds have a tendency to reserve their direction periodically. These winds blow in a particular direction for a few months of the year and generally bring rainfall. मतलब एक ही ईयर में या कुछ महीने में घूमती हैं ताकि वो एक साथ अपने साथ रेनफॉल लेकर आती है. They are caused by unequal heating and cooling of the earth's surface and the localized difference in the atmospheric pressure. They are the two types of periodic winds are the monsoon winds and land and sea breeze. Now we will study about the local wind. Local wind. In many parts of the world, the local winds with some special characteristics. Repeat. Local winds. In many parts of the world, the local winds with some special characteristics blow over small areas. These winds are known as local winds. Most of these winds are seasonal and they are usually named in the local languages. काफी ज्यादा seasonals होती हैं and इनका मतलब जो named होता है that is named in the local languages like the Lu, the Chinook and are examples of local winds. Now next topic is wind direction and velocity. कैसे wind direction होता है? The instrument used to find the direction of the wind is called wind vane. ठीक है? Repeat. The speed of the wind is measured with anemometer. The speed and direction of wind always keep changing, right? जो उसकी direction है wind की वो हमेशा बदलती रहती है, right students? So that's it for this chapter. Thank you and I will meet you in the next class.